welcome back to my channel. So hopefully you were watching my last video that I just posted of the new palettes I just purchased, and you'll be seeing my next purchase, which I was super excited for. You'll be seeing that sometime next week when it comes in. Right now I just wanted to do a quick tutorial. I got a bunch of likes on this makeup look that I posted, and it was using the Born to Run palette. So I'm going to be using about 5 shades from here. And that way you guys can see what I did when I played around with my makeup palette, because I was super excited. So I'm going to try to run through this quickly, so it may not be as perfect as my picture, but you'll get the idea, because I don't want this tutorial to take forever. So we're going to try to make this as quick as possible and run smoothly. So my primer, my go-to is my e.l.f. primer. This is Beautifully Bare, Lit From Within. I use this primer. It works well for me. Always have a clean face. Make sure your face is washed. I always try to moisturize too. That way, you know, you're all good to go. And then the first thing I do is I prime my eyes. I also use an e.l.f. product as well. This is their eye primer in sheer. And because it has a wand, it makes the application much easier. I still use my fingers to kind of rub it all in, but you'll get the idea. Okay, so that's that. So then you just prime your eyes. Now the first thing I do after priming my eyes is I start with my crease. So we're going to start with the crease. So you're going to grab a crease brush, which is this, like, one like this, or you could use this one. This one is a little stained. But these are the kinds of brushes you use for crease. So for the crease, I'm going to be using their color Good Is Gone. And you're just going to lightly add some product. I always tap out. You know, you want to make sure you get product on the brush, but you don't want it to spread all over your face either. So for the crease, I'm just going to go in this fellow motion. You're going to follow your eyelid. So right where you feel that empty space between your eyeball and your brow bone, that is your crease. So I'm just going to gently add Good Is Gone is the color that I'm choosing for the crease. And you're just going to blend that in there like so. And you're going to repeat it on the other side too. So I always go with the flow. When you do your creases, you don't want to go in circular motion. Just follow the natural shape of your eyes. So I just do that. And sometimes I go a little bit in here just to bring that shade out, you know, in a little bit. And really get in there. I'm also going to add a little bit of their shade called Punk in the crease as well, which is right here. This is going to give it a more depth look. It's adding an extra brown, but this brown has a little bit of like a red tone to it. So it's going to deepen that color that you just put with Good Is Gone. And now once the crease is in and all set, which doesn't take really long, you just really get that in there in the crease. Now we're going to do somewhat of a cut crease. I'm not a pro at this, but I started playing around. So with a cut crease, you're going to add concealer. I use the e.l.f. concealer in Apricot Beige. This concealer works well for me. You can use any other concealer that you're comfortable with. This one has a wand, so it's easier to apply. And you're just going to literally cover your eyelid. But just the lid part. You don't want to go all the way up to where you have the crease, because the crease is what's supposed to show. So you're just going to add a little bit of that here. And that's alright if you get a little bit on the crease, because you'll just go over it anyway. So the rain's like really, really loud right now, and I'm sorry. So I try to add a little, and I try to spread it out as evenly as possible because sometimes when it's too wet, it blots up. So for this, I'm going to add the color Radio. I do one at a time because the concealer dries fast. So this is Radio, and I'm going to add it towards the inner part of my eyelid and the outer part. I'm going to leave the middle open. So I'm going to use a packing brush like this. I'm going to dip it in Radio, tap out, and gently add it on this side here. And with a packing brush, you're gonna pack it in. You're not gonna smooth it like that or anything like that. You're just gonna gently pack it. And then I'm also gonna add it on the inner corner here. And we're gonna leave that open space available for the other color. So for the other color, I'm going to use the opposite end of my packing brush, and I'm going to take the color Ignite, which is right here. It's like a bronzy shimmer, and I'm going to add that in the middle. Okay. So now that that's all done, we're going to go and I'm just going to gently blend with a brush that has no product on it. And I'm just going to blend it in. If you need to add more, you need to add less, go ahead and do so. I feel like I need a little bit more of the color Radio on each side, so I'm going to add a little bit more of that. And then I'm also going to add a little bit more on my crease because I'm noticing that I got some concealer on the crease, so you can't see the creases as much. So I'm going to add, once again, the Good Is Gone in the crease. And the Good Is Gone is going to blend in with the Radio as well. And it's just going to give it a nice depth color. So we're going to go once again, we're going to do the other eyelid now. We're going to go back in with our packing brush and do Radio. Now the point of the concealer is to give you basically a whole new base to start with. So that way you're not blending a whole mess of colors and it all turns to poop. Okay. So that's for the crease, for the packing there. Now we're going to do the middle, the Ignite, with the other side of the packing brush. And we're going to pack in that bronzy shimmer. Packing is more of like a stippling notion. Kind of like how when you use your beauty blender, you just stipple it. You don't like rub, because that's the way to keep the color in. So now we're just I'm gonna blend the corners a little, because I don't like harsh lines. Some people do, I don't. So we're just gonna blend that in a little bit. Get Good As Gone in that corner. And then for the inner corner of the eye, we're going to do the color Big Sky, which is more like a teal green kind of color. And now we're going to add this color in the inner corner. And you could bring that up if you'd like. I like bringing it up and bringing it a little down. And what I'm using is this brush. So this is more, I don't remember the name of this kind of brush, but it's just, you know, it's smaller, so it gets in that corner really, really nicely. And then we're just gonna bring it up, bring it down a little bit, and kind of blend it in. Okay. So that's the color there. I really like this color scheme. I was trying to go for like a Mother Nature earthy kind of feel with this, which is why I chose to do this. And next, so that's it for our Born to Run palette that we're going to be using. Next, what I'm going to do is take my Kat Von D tattoo liner, and I'm just going to give myself a nice wing. If you're not perfect at wings, that's okay. It takes practice. With the wing, I always start in the middle and then do little small strokes towards the inner and small strokes to create a line, and then I fill in after I've made my marks. So after I've gotten my shape, I then fill in little by little. The Kat Von D tattoo liner has been my go-to since I was like 16. And let me just say, your wing eyeliners are never going to be completely perfect every single time. So just get it as close to the other one as possible. Like right now, I can see that this one is a little bit more whiter than this one, but we're going to leave it just because you guys get the idea. You put your wing eyeliner next. The next thing I do is I go and I take my bottom liner. So I'm going to use Kat Von D again. And I'm going to use her liner called Basket Case. So that's that. And we're going to do the inner eye right here, the waterline, in black. I think I used black, right? Actually, no. I'm using the wrong liner, guys. So you could use black, but what I did use to bring out more blue is Maybelline's Lasting Drama waterproof gel pencil in the color Silken Turquoise. So I'm going to look a little funny. I'm going to do one and one. You could see one with black and you'll see one with turquoise. So you guys can see the difference. The only thing with this is that it doesn't really pick up on the waterline because right now it's like it needs to be sharpened. So I'm trying to get a really good color here, but it's not popping up. So I have sharpeners, but like it tends to get stuck in them because these are just like regular sharpeners. But I'm gonna try to sharpen it a little bit, get some more out. All right, so let's see if this works now. Okay, so for the most part it's on there. It's not on there well, but but gel pencil, as much as I love the color, because it's the waterline, it's a lot harder to get pigmented. So after that, I do my mascara, and I'm going to use Unleashed by Wander Beauty. So this is Volume and Curl Mascara. I actually received this in my BoxyCharm of July, which was exciting because it has a really great shape. I do mascara still only because like I'm not good at lashes yet. And usually when I'm going somewhere, I'm like already in a rush, so I try not to, you know, make it worse by trying to put lashes on and then messing up everything I just worked hard on. So I just apply mascara, but if you have false lashes, you can apply that too first, and then, you know, apply your mascara or whatever. But this mascara works well for me, and I really like it. This is actually one of my favorite things out of the July box, is the Wander Beauty mascara. So once I get that done, I go and I start doing my foundation. I use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation in shade 260. I use a beauty blender, and we're going to apply that like so. This is the stippling motion that I was talking about when it came to doing your packing on the eyelid. So you're going to do the stippling motion all over your face until all is blended. If you need to conceal first, go and do so. I don't feel like I needed concealer to conceal anything, so I skipped that part, but you can if you like. This is before the foundation, is your chance to apply concealer and to apply like your color correctors if you need it. Which, if you don't know how to apply color corrector, I have a video of what it's for. You could also check that out and hit that subscribe button. So I go and I blend all in. I know I look crazy right now, but don't worry. I'm a little tan, so this color is a little light for me right now, but that's because it's summer weather and I haven't gotten my summer shade yet. Our skin color obviously does change in the summer and in the cold, so like wintertime, your skin tone might be a lot like whiter, and then during the summer you're gonna be more tan, so you're gonna need a separate foundation. But to show you guys the whole tutorial, it's not necessary for me to like go that into detail for this. So right now this is good for me. So I have everything blended in well. Now next up is going to be my brows. So I'm going to use the Anastasia Brow Dip Brow Pomade in medium brown. And I'm going to take my Anastasia Angled Eyebrow Brush, and I'm going to dip it in. And I'm going to start outlining my brow. Oop, messed that up there. So I do an outline first and then fill. If you do it a different way, go and do that. But this is how I learned. And then you do small strokes to fill in. I don't, you know, use it like it's a crayon. I just do small strokes. Sorry if you don't see me like looking directly at you. I'm actually looking at my mirror, which is right underneath the camera. So I do small brush strokes to get that. And then I go up a little bit here, but I don't add too much to give it that nice faded natural look. And I always keep a spoolie on hand, which is, you know, what people use like as a mascara wand, they may call it. And you use that to brush out. And you can see the difference of that brow and this brow. So the reason you do small brush strokes is because you want it to look as natural as possible. If you didn't want it to look natural, then do the complete opposite of what I'm doing and you'll get that. So I always try to be natural as possible. So I do small brush strokes. I blend as much as possible and brush out as much as possible to really get me that natural look. So that way it doesn't look like I tattooed eyebrows on my face. And there you go. So that's the eye part. Now, really quickly, if you wanted to contour, you can. I'm going to use the Smashbox palette that I got in my hauling video. And I'm going to pull this section out here. This is their highlight, contour, bronze, and blush here. So I just take an angled brush like this. And I actually mix the contour and the bronze together. I make the fish face. And I go up in this motion. So in my light right now, you may not see it as much, but it's there. And I bring it up to the forehead. Okay, and then I go again right on my jawline. And you just add a little bit. There's no need to go OD unless you want to make it stand out for a certain picture. Go ahead. But I just add a little. Then I go in with the highlight. And I go underneath where I just put it. And I go again on the forehead. This is to kind of like blend it all in. Okay, and then once that's blended in my opinion, you're gonna just keep blending if you have to, just so that way there are no harsh lines. You'll blend all that in, and then I take my Fenty Beauty Glow here. This is the Fenty Beauty Hustler Baby Glow here. And then I take this brush, which is very similar to the other one that we just had. I take this brush and I apply it on my cheekbone right there. And I apply a little bit on my nose, a little bit there, a little bit there. Doesn't hurt to glow a little, right? And if you want, you can actually take the glow and add a little bit right underneath your brow to give it an added highlight. Ooh. Sorry. And you can give it a little highlight there. If you want to sculpt your brows, you can do that. They're not necessary if you use like a dip brow, but if you want to, you can. And then the last but not least are the lips. I'm going to be using Ofra's Cosmetics Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in shade Verona. And then we're just going to apply this on the lips. My lips are a little chapped, so, you know. And then last but not least, we're going to use some definition powder. We have the HD Powder Perfect Finish by e.l.f. And we're just going to set this with powder. So for this, I use like a big brush like this. I gently add a little, I tap out, and I kind of blend it all in. So that way everything's natural. And then I set it with some setting spray. So, where's my setting spray? I organized these drawers and I'm like forgetting where everything is. And I'm the one that organized them. Isn't that funny? So, then you would just set it with some setting spray. We have here the Sephora Beauty Amplifier. Or you can use the Urban Decay. This is a prep spray, but Urban Decay does have a setting spray. I just don't know where I put, oh, here it is. So we have the Urban Decay D-Slick setting spray. And you would spray that on your face. And you're all set. And there you go. There's your eye look of the day. You could do turquoise, which brings the eye out a little more. You could go deeper and use the black. You have your eyebrows, you have your foundation, your primers, your lips, your glow, your contour, and your highlight. And that completes the look for the day. The one that everyone wanted to know how I did it. Well, there you go. Now you know. And it was under 30 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's still a little long, but you guys could have a complete full face of glam in under 30. So enjoy and have a great day, guys.